new forms, which may call for new strategies to combat. It's a complex area.
Absolutely. There's actually a story that's been doing the rounds on X about a case in which there's claim of rape. A young man was beaten by brothers, and it's a whole situation. And different sides are coming up with an argument that this is not the case. He didn't do it, and yet we're seeing this other side saying that he did, and it's become very violent. He was beaten up, and I think that's one of the things you should look at, because there's a danger in that, isn't there? That there's an ability, and I'm not demeaning what violence is. GBV is unacceptable, and it's even less acceptable when it comes to femicide. I do not believe in that whatsoever. In fact, if anything, men should be protecting the women. Are we in agreement with that?
Absolutely.
Okay, great. I'm glad both of you said absolutely, because then that comes into my question when it comes to patriarchal system that you were criticizing just now, or not criticizing, but seemingly, from my perspective, questioning. Absolutely, Chico, I agree with you. Men should protect women, in which case that would still play into the patriarchal. I'm only bringing this up because for your, what should I say, the technical working group, it's very important that if you're approaching this matter, it is from a very balanced and unbiased situation, because it could affect things completely differently. And GBV includes men. It's just that the society doesn't accept us for saying it, right? But femicide. So if you are so keen, you and Valaris both react and say, yes, men should protect women. How then can you claim in the same sentence and breath that patriarchal system is...
Men also found themselves within that situation. I don't think they were there constructing this sometimes very unequal society that we go through. And I talk to men, and I agree with you that we should have an inclusive approach to GBV, because men are also victims of GBV. Sodomy. I was hearing views yesterday.
A recent pastor actually has done
sodomy. Young boys, men, they are being sodomized. Domestic violence, men are victims of domestic violence. And it's just that because, again, of patriarchy and the power structure, men cannot go to the police to report.
I like what you just did there.
Yes, because then they are ridiculed, but for heaven's sake, their human rights are being violated. Their lives are in danger, just like the women's lives are in danger. So this is an approach that we are taking, okay? It's Absolutely. Not a male thing, a women thing. It's a societal thing.
It's a society thing.
And I just wanted that out for clarity, because, everyone comes... Lack of information and facts allows people to come up with their ideas, because we abhor a void. That's just human nature. We're speaking to Dr. Nancy Baraza, the chairperson of the Technical Working Group on Gender-Based Violence, GBV, including femicide, and we'll come back and delve into the numbers, because Kenya... 2024, there was a report that was written by the Africa Uncensored Online that said femicide in Kenya 2024 was the worst year on record. Let me run through you some of those key findings. Highest annual female murder cases, staggering 170 cases documented in 2024 alone, doubling the annual average recorded from 2016 up to 2023. Think about that. Justice delay persistence. That is something that we will have to talk about, especially being a lawyer who's come through with some of the lawyers to start a feeder. How much support do you get from the system? Of the 219 court judgments between 2016 and 2024, by the way, 185 suspects were convicted, while 34 were acquitted. Convictions increased by 100 in 2024 from the previous year. The leading killers of women remain largely unchanged over the years. Intimate partners, something that Dr. Baraza has just insinuated. That's mainly husbands and boyfriends at 70% as per 2024 conviction data. Methods of murder have become more intimate and brutal, so you can see it's a crime of passion, but a crime nonetheless. Young women bearing the greatest risk. Will delve into the killers, who are mostly young men. 66% of the perpetrators presented in court from 2016 up to 2024 were between, get this, it'll shock you, the age of 18 to 35 years old. What is happening to this new generation? Is it a case of the culture? Is it a case of exposure? Or are we just not giving them the right leadership? All these questions to be thrown the way of Dr. Nancy Baraza, who's graced us right here on Capital in the Morning.
What's up, y'all? This is Alicia Keys.
It's not just a blog.
What's up, y'all? I'm Beyonce.
It's the art of living. Capital Lifestyle, where every story is a front row seat to the extraordinary. We don't follow trends. We set them. From the glimmer of couture runways to the glow of candlelit dinners, from the thrill of fairway destinations to moments that turn ordinary into unforgettable. This is life elevated. Your next adventure, your next indulgence, your next inspiration starts here. Find us at capitalfm.co.ke/lifestyle. Connect with us at lifestyle@capitalfm.co.ke and follow the journey with Kenya's undisputed premier lifestyle connoisseur, Vinny O. On socials at Captain Vinny O. Capital Lifestyle. Not just life, the best of it. Hashtag appoint IEBC now.
Capital Sports Update, where sports is taken seriously.
So the National Police Service has assured of adequate security personnel for this month's WRC Safari Rally. Chief Security Officer for the rally, Stephen Etyang, says they've evaluated the security measures in place and will be providing enough police officers to implement it.
The National Police Service, led by the Inspector General, Mr. Douglas Kanja, has meticulously planned and implemented stringent measures to evaluate the security measures of the event, thereby enabling the deployment
that the country will always
is we're moving love. I would love to be able to tell you, as I would love to be able to tell you as President of World Athletics globally, that one day we will have a drug-free, performance-free landscape. I have to be realistic. There will always be a few. I have to be realistic. There will always be a few people.
the country